So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not.
The news of Caitlin Clark's most recent award has caused all of her detractors to cry uncontrollably. In fact, you might want to purchase stock in Kleenex because this is a huge deal. She has won numerous awards over her career, but what makes this one particularly noteworthy is that she is the only WNBA player to receive recognition. Nope, Angel Ree Wilson, Asia. Sabrina, not this time. Sorry, that's correct. The only WNBA player to make Forbes 30 Under 30 list for sports, one of the most prestigious awards for young athletes, is Caitlin Clark. You already know what's going to happen next. The haters are going crazy once more. You can almost hear the envious rivals and hack pundits on podcasts downplaying yet another one of Caitlin's accomplishments. Why is this list shocking the WNBA, and why is it not Angel or Asia? I'm going to break it all down, so stay tuned. But first, watch this video to celebrate Caitlin and subscribe to mock the haters. Let's start with the fundamentals. Why is it so important to be on this list? The 30 Under 30 isn't just a random list that people are added to for simply showing up. It's more than just a participation list. This list trophy is only for game-changing players. Young superstars and trailblazers who are dominating their respective sports fields. It's not just about scoring points. Forbes examines all available data, not just the numbers. The athletes on this list are driving marketability, cultural impact, and court domination creating trends and demonstrating that they are game changers rather than just players. Basically, you're in the race if you're breaking down barriers and moving the needle, and Caitlin Clark is the needle, not just the needle.
And now Clark comes up with a steal. Clark thought about pulling up from three, will dip inside and lay it in. There are the first points in the WNBA career of Caitlin Clark.
Take it at the rim. Here, hesitation. You have to come. Goes her first two.
It is Caitlin Clark able to clear for Indiana.
Caitlin coming off that 20-point performance right here, handling the physicality of Benijah Lane.
Clark, step back three, knocks it down. Take a look here at a career first.
The step back, going right, I may add. It's usually step back going left.
Okay, let's face it, we would have to start doubting the entire process if Caitlin wasn't on this list. She is currently the face of women's basketball, a walking highlight reel, a record-breaking machine, and more than simply a player. Since entering the WNBA, she has become a phenomenon. Caitlin has broken records, converted casual viewers into diehard fans, and skyrocketed ticket sales. She owns more records than Grandpa's vinyl collection, which includes everything from triple-doubles to long-range bombs. She is rewriting the history books of the WNBA. WNBA debut of the year, easily triple-doubles twice in her debut season, leads the league in assists by a wide margin, and increases attendance everywhere she plays. Yes, everywhere Caitlin plays, the stands are packed, with 15,000 people per game. Numbers the league had never seen before. Applause. Claps. Let's clarify one issue. In addition to being a basketball star, Caitlin Clark is a TV ratings goldmine and an economic engine. Her influence on the WNBA is so great that it is not only changing the league, but also hastening its expansion by years. Since Caitlin can't be duped by the receipts, let's discuss the numbers. Although WNBA ticket sales were increasing respectively by 16% between 2022 and 2023, they exploded by an astounding 93% in 2024 alone once Caitlin joined the league. Without her, experts estimate the WNBA wouldn't have achieved these figures until 2029 or 2030. People who had never given women's basketball a second glance are now glued to their screens, wondering what kind of magic Caitlin will perform next. Consider that Caitlin's rookie season has accelerated the league's progress by almost a decade. Women's basketball viewership had been rising before Caitlin, with an impressive 40% increase from 2022 to 2023. Right, Caitlin said, "Hold my Gatorade," and delivered a staggering 400% increase in 2024. With Caitlin Clark on the court, The days of WNBA games being played in arenas that sounded more like echo chambers than fan-packed venues are over. For comparison, the average attendance for Caitlyn's games is an incredible 15,000 fans per game, which is more than many NBA teams' early season games. Whether at home or away, her Indiana Fever games always sell out, and team gear is flying off the shelves like Black Friday. Not only are Caitlyn's performances shattering records, but they are also dominating the NBA, sometimes on the first day in the league's history of excitement. An estimated 2.5 million people watched Caitlyn's first-ever WNBA game against the Connecticut Sun, which is not only impressive but historic. A rookie in women's basketball outdrew the NBA.
Take a moment to process that.
Drew averaged 1.6 million viewers, a 42% decrease from the previous year.
Take it at the rim. Here, hesitation. You have to come out on her. Goes by. Her first two.
Back Bentley. Here's Clark, a good look from three. She got it. The first three in the career of Caitlin Clark.
Clark does not need much space here. The screen comes off, drains a three. That's one of the few good looks, and it's not even that great of a look that she's gotten here so far in this.
Here's Clark off a screen, gets a look, and hits.
When Caitlin Clark is on the court, arenas are packed and millions of people are glued to their screens. She is not just playing basketball, she is creating an empire. Haters can say whatever they want, but Caitlin Clark's numbers speak louder than their complaints. Her games are must-watch TV, and the numbers support that. She isn't the most apparent choice for Forbes' 30 Under 30 list. She is responsible for the WNBA's unprecedented success, but it goes beyond the numbers. Haters will claim that Caitlyn's star power is just hype, but she has the energy that makes people fall in love with the game. Tell the sold-out arenas, the record-breaking ratings, and the sponsors lining up to throw money away that hype doesn't sell out arenas' greatness. Oh, you knew this was coming as soon as Caitlyn's name appeared on Forbes' list. The fans of Reese arrived prepared to argue. What about Angel? She's a star too, yes, but let's be honest for a moment. Despite its importance, Angel's impact pales in comparison to Caitlyn's appearance. Although Angel had a fantastic collegiate career, her LSU team won the NCAA championship, and her viral insults of Caitlyn during the finals heightened the rivalry. Her influence on the WNBA hasn't been as great as Caitlyn's subsequently.
Mabry comes up with the board. Long pass, perfect to Reese. She was unable to get it in. And they play some beautiful basketball. Again, no Brianna Stewart today. Chicago's missed 7 straight shots.
That's off all screens, so she's not getting any easy look.
Reese, short truss. Allen just blew by Burke, but couldn't get the floater to go. Angel Reese. Reese, spinning.
Unlike Caitlyn, she didn't lead her team to the playoffs, and her games don't draw nearly as many fans as Caitlyn's league, which leads 15,000 per game. Not to mention that Caitlyn has routinely outperformed her in practically every significant statistical category. Sure, Angel's podcast is amazing, but this isn't Forbes 30 Under 30 for talking to Shaq. Rather, it's about who's changing the game, and Caitlyn is doing that on a level that Angel hasn't yet. Additionally, A'ja Wilson, the current MVP, didn't make the list.
It's relying on her passing, getting the ball to her, defense double team, A'ja Wilson with a three.
See, that's where Alicia Clark, with a clear out, runs and shows some help and gets in the gap and forces her to pass.
The fortuitous bounce and one for A'ja Wilson for this year, but a really cool shoe collab with Under Armour and Kelsey Plum. Oh, I love it with the cigar flare as well. I need a humidor. So what she's been trying to do, she said she did USA 3-on-3, China, Turkey. Now she thinks this is ready for her time.
Yeah, 16th overall. Has really only played a few games here and there the last couple of years. A'ja Wilson on the right side finishes. Cloud matched up against A'ja Wilson. Takes one way, goes the other, and rattles that one down.
A'ja's magnificence is unquestionably established. She is no longer a rising star. Caitlin is currently the one reinventing what is possible in the sport, and Forbes is all about who's next. While the detractors are busy writing pages explaining why their favorite player should have been cut, Caitlin Clark is too busy selling out arenas and draining logo 3ES to be on this list, since she is not just playing basketball, but also changing it. In addition to being a skilled basketball player, Caitlin is revolutionizing the women's game. Companies are literally vying for Caitlin's attention because of her genuineness and charisma, which make her an ideal fit for brands. She has already landed multi-million-dollar endorsement deals. Caitlin's self-assurance and swagger have given women's basketball a much-needed edge. She's making the game cool in a manner that no one else is, whether it's a high-stakes playoff game or a packed arena. This isn't just about Caitlin reaching the Forbes list. It's also about what she stands for. Caitlin is the type of player you set your DVR for if people still engage in that behavior. Caitlin's success is paving the way for the next generation of players and pressuring the WNBA to increase sponsorships, demonstrating that women's basketball can be just as thrilling, lucrative, and culturally significant as any other sport. Improved coverage in the media, larger audiences, the entire league is being lifted by Caitlin's ascent. Although Caitlin Clark is unquestionably the headliner on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list, she shares the limelight with another young star in women's basketball, creating waves. FLJ Johnson.
Clock, but Bigham will fire a three anyway, no good. 6 to go in the quarter. See if LSU can get something out of it. Rebound by Smith. Johnson into the front court will pull up for about a 30-footer. Yes, she got it.
Johnson steals it on her way to the rim, lays it up and scores.
LSU gets it across half court easily. Here's Johnson driving all the way to the rim, and back come the Tigers now. Johnson weaves her way up the far sideline. Johnson down the lane, Euro steps and scores.
And now LSU tries to push the tempo. Flau'jae Johnson puts her head down and drives to the hoop. A tough
for Tennessee. Flau'jae Johnson driving off the glass.
Transfer from Texas will be in action next year for the Gators as well.
Flau'jae Johnson.
Yes, that's correct. Forbes recognized a collegiate player for turning heads flow both on and off the floor, in addition to the NBA's sexiest rookie. Jay isn't just playing basketball, she's creating a brand. FLJ is a leader and a scoring machine for LSU, displaying the skill that has analysts predicting she will be a future WNBA star. When she's not draining threes for LSU, she's in the studio recording songs that are accumulating streams. So, why did Forbes pick Caitlin and Flau'jae over more seasoned WNBA stars? It's easy. These two aren't just playing basketball, they're revolutionizing the sport. Caitlin is breaking records and redefining the WNBA's appeal, while Flau'jae is together. They represent the next generation of women's basketball players who are drawing in new followers, securing significant sponsorships, and demonstrating the necessity of women's basketball. Jay is demonstrating how athletes can succeed in numerous arenas, as Clark and Johnson are out here controlling the game and establishing their empires. SETV, some established pros are feeling a little salty. Why? Because these two have managed to steal the spotlight in a way that's impossible to ignore. Let's rewind a little, shall we? When Caitlin Clark first entered the WNBA, there were plenty of doubters lining up to downplay her impact. They said Caitlin wouldn't stand out in a league full of seasoned pros. They claimed she'd be overwhelmed by the physicality and speed of the WNBA. Some even suggested she was more hype than substance. She's great in college, but the WNBA is a different beast, they scoffed. Are you sure about that? One of the most common criticisms was that Caitlin's success wasn't about her, but about the team around her. Critics argued that her stats were inflated because she had great teammates setting her up for success. Here's the thing, Caitlin didn't just lead Iowa to the NCAA championship game. She carried them there, and now she's doing the same thing in the WNBA, proving that her greatness isn't about the team around her, it's about her ability to elevate everyone else. Then there were the people who said Caitlin's transition to the WNBA would be a rocky one. They doubted her ability to handle the physicality of the league or the challenge of playing against the best defenders in the world.
So people look at new players coming in, whether that's out of college, players who've been overseas, and they look at that and say, oh, you trying to come take my job. Like, nah, it's not gonna be that easy. So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
Okay.
Guess what? Caitlin is crushing the league in her debut season, averaging almost 20 points per game, dropping triple-doubles, and leading the league in assists. The greatest defenders, who everyone warned her about, are being burned. The truth is that Caitlin is making logo 3s look like layups, and her shooting percent is insane. Caitlin Clark's influence on the WNBA is unstoppable. She has repeatedly demonstrated that she is not only a fantastic player, but also a generational talent, setting records, packing arenas, and attracting a whole new audience to women's basketball. The league is expanding more quickly than ever before, and Caitlin is the face of that expansion. You can't dispute the results, and you can't dispute the figures either.
Clark backdoor, nice look, Martin, easy layup. Caitlin Clark.
And hold you to the highest standard, no doubt. And Caitlin Clark has said Lisa Bluder holds her accountable too. Stokey finishes it off that time.
Clark wants a screen. Gets a switch and a double, and rewards the screener.
Hitley's gonna hedge, and when she hedges, look at Stokey to the rim. Help late on the weak side, and it's a bucket for the Hawkeyes. 10 on the shot clock. Clark to the mid-range, drops it off inside to Goodman. Great vision by Caitlin.
So, tell me in the comments if you believe Forbes made the right choice in selecting Caitlin Clark for the 30 under 30 list, or if you believe someone else should have been chosen.